now it's time for that time of the week, my friend. It's Friday. Feels like Saturday. Feels a little bit like a Sunday even. I don't know. I don't know what day it feels like, but it does not feel like Friday afternoon. Everybody's getting ready for Christmas. I still have not bought my wife anything, which I know what I. Yeah.
Did you just say you haven't bought anything?
No, nothing. I know what I'm getting.
December 20th, sir.
I know. I'll figure it out. I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting. The problem is that, like, if I'm not sitting, when I leave here, I walk downstairs to my wife. Okay. So when I come back in the door, my wife would be there, and on the weekends I work, so I can't do anything. You see where I'm running into some trickiness here? You see where things are getting a little complicated. So we're going to figure it out. We do every year. We'll be okay. To be very honest, the only person I did buy presents for is my mom and my brother, because I happened to walk into a store that I will not name out loud, and they were both sitting right there. And I went, there it is. Merry Christmas, guys. And I snagged them and left. And we'll get the rest of them. I'm not worried about it, dude. It's Christmas. Everybody gets Christmas presents, no matter how late your Christmas presents are, especially if you got a game plan. I got a game plan.
As long as you have a game plan, that's all that matters.
I would say it, but this would be the one episode that you listen to ever. Yep. Yeah. So we'll keep it on the back burner. With that said, let's make our picks, because I'm gonna need some luck. We're crunch time right now for me and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm gonna need some luck on my side. Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Week 16. No Deontay Johnson, no George Pickens, no Deshaun Elliott. TJ Watt though, and we're gonna talk about him here in a second when I get to my turn. Week 16, M&T Bank Stadium. Isaiah Likely said, we got Flock Nation's got to keep it a home game. Got to keep it a home game. I took that as a challenge to the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base to say, show up or don't show up, your decision, but we don't expect you to show up. So take that as you will, Terrible Towels. I'm going to toss it to you. What's our scores? What do we got? What's the spread?
Yeah, if we head on over to our good pals over at DraftKings, the Steelers are still heavy underdogs on the road against the Baltimore Ravens, despite winning 9 of the last 10 matchups against them. 6.5-point underdogs to the Baltimore Ravens and a 44.5-point over-under. Expecting a good bit of points. Expecting at least one of these teams to go over 20 points, which hasn't happened in multiple years.
I was going to say, what is Vegas doing here? What is the Vegas spread in this?
They always know something.
Yeah, but it seems as if they're drunk on this one, or they sent the intern to do this, because nothing's accurate. You're telling me that a Pittsburgh Steelers Baltimore Ravens game is going to be a 7-point difference? Well, 7 points, and somebody's going to score over 20 points? Nah. And then somebody would have to score 25 points if the other team scored 19. It's as if the new guy showed up and said, I'll take the Ravens Steelers. I got this one. Don't even worry about it, Joe. I'm going to take care about this one. And he came up with this spread and this over-under. I'm going the under. We're going to start there. I'm going the under. Not feeling good about that at all. Going the under. Nobody likes betting the under, but we're doing it. I'll give you my reasoning behind these picks before I actually give you a score. No George Pickens is terrifying, and I know we talked about how maybe a running back change is needed for the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday. But last year in the freezing rain, you want to know who came through for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Najee Harris. As I sat in a motel waiting for the snow to stop so that I could potentially get to the game, and then said, screw it, I'm just waiting for the morning. Sketchiest motel I have ever stayed in my entire life. Shout out the Motel 8, or the Super 8, I think it is. 8 Pizza excuse me, Pizza Hut pizza at 3 a.m. That was given to me, gifted. Shout out to the Pizza Hut people. I watched Najee Harris lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to a victory. You want to know who else helped the Pittsburgh Steelers go to a victory before he hurt his knee in that game? Mr. TJ Watt. And guess who the Pittsburgh Steelers have healthy, ready to go, and fired up for this one? Najee Harris and TJ Watt. This is not a Russell Wilson's got to be concerned. He's the reason they win or lose this football game. This is not a George Pickens needs to put up 100 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this football game. This is who wins the battle up front. I don't care how bad the Steelers' offensive line has been. They always play better in this football game. Always. And it's determined on both sides of the ball defensively, not offensively. I don't care about Lamar Jackson. I don't care about Derrick Henry. I don't care about George Pickens or Russell Wilson. I care about whose defense is going to do more than the other defense to make sure that they win. And the Pittsburgh Steelers defense right now looks pretty good. And TJ Watt is playing through an ankle sprain, which tells me that he will do whatever he needs to do to win this football game. So there are no massive questions to me when it comes to, can the Steelers score enough points? In Baltimore Ravens versus Pittsburgh Steelers football games, you don't need to score enough points. You just need Chris Boswell to hit a couple of field goals, and you're good to go. And I think the Steelers will do more than that this time and still have the upper hand. TJ Watt's my X factor in this one, hands down, no questions asked. I think TJ goes off for a game that if he does miss the final 2 games of the season, we already, the stamp is there. Defensive Player of the Year. No questions asked. Everybody watched the NFL honors in February because TJ is about to win an award instead of go to dinner with his wife, all pissed off. I'm going Pittsburgh Steelers 16, Baltimore Ravens 13 in this one. It is not fun. It is not a good game, but it is old school, muddy, punchy in the mouth. Nobody even realizes that it's 16-13 football because TJ Watt's going nuts on the other side of the football. Everybody else is going nuts. Yeah, Rex Ryan and everybody else can overreact about Russell Wilson on Monday morning. I don't care. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to walk away. Chris Boswell is once again going to cement himself as the Pittsburgh Steelers MVP, although TJ Watt's going to have a game so good that we forget about it again on Wednesday. And the Pittsburgh Steelers walk away winners and AFC North champions at M&T Bank Stadium. It's snowy. I expect it to remain snowy. And I'm telling you, 16-13, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Your score and everything that you just said over the last 2.5 minutes makes so much sense that it probably won't happen. That's the way I look at this, because yes, I could go with all the narratives. Neither team has scored 20 points since 2021. I think, to go back over to my pick, I think both teams get 20 points at least in this game. I don't think it's a pretty 20 points, but I think both teams get over the 20 points in this game. The problem that I have is Justin Tucker going to miss multiple field goals again? Probably not. He might. There's a chance that he does, more so than ever before. But in this game, is he going to miss multiple field goals again? I'm going to say the odds are unlikely on that one. The problem that I have with the Steelers is that the last time they won, they needed Justin Tucker to miss, and they relied heavily, in all caps, heavily on George Pickens on the offensive side of the ball. He had 89 receiving yards out of the 205 total receiving yards. They didn't run the ball very well. They've never really relied on Pat Freiermuth, which is, I wanted to have solace in, hey, Pat's going to have a big game because I always have faith in Pat Freiermuth. But historically, he averages 3 catches and 30 yards against the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm just not sure where the offense is coming from. I think the defense makes a couple splash plays. I think the offense gets some points off of them. But I think ultimately, it's not going to be enough at M&T Bank Stadium. The Steelers fall 24-20 because Justin Tucker actually hits his field goals this year, or this game.
I think what's crazy, you made a couple, obviously, like, I support your answers here, but you made a couple of wild statements in this one, all right? So I'm not going off of history, but I am including Pat Freiermuth's history.
That's true. I did do that. I just, again, the history of just scores versus one player never being in the game plan, to me, is a little bit easier to look at.
The second one is Justin Tucker most likely is not going to miss multiple field goals for like the 8th time this season, which is probably the most likely thing you could bet on in the NFL this season is
Okay.
Justin Tucker missing multiple field goals, which, I mean, he's still the greatest kicker of all time, so you never know.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man.
Listen,
20
of the
I
two
think
of us, I prefer to be wrong.
I know. I think the point total is where you got me. Like if you were like 20-19, Justin Tucker hits all his field goals, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know, but probably 20. Could you imagine a 24-20 Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens? Who scores the touchdowns in Pittsburgh? You got a guess on this?
I think one of them is Najee Harris because they're going to get a turnover and it's just going to be give it to Najee at the one. He bowls through. And I do think that Darnell Washington ends up with a touchdown in this one.
Hell yeah. All right. That's a win. In my eyes, that's
You're like, screw the AFC North. Mount Washington got a touchdown.
Yeah, Darnell's coming back strong, my friend. You get, strong. After last week and the 85 clips that I've watched from different angles of Darnell Washington just pile driving Darius Slay into the stands, that's a win. That's a win. I'd be all about it. That's a tough one. Do you have the Steelers winning the AFC North if they lose this weekend?
I do. I think they lose this weekend. I think the Houston Texans give them a hand, and I think they win out over the Chiefs and the Bengals. That's what I'm thinking as of right now.
Wow. You're saying that they lose to the Ravens and beat the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes.
Yep. I think the Chiefs will have less to play for.
I don't disagree there. Wow. Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm 16-13. Nick's 24-20 in this one. We'll see. I think at this point I might have won the season, but
oh yeah, by far. I'm just picking with my brain here, not trying to come back and make any miraculous, picks come back.
No.
I know I've lost that one. Yes.
We'll try something at the last week of the season. Maybe the playoffs. You never know. Though it would be tough. You never know. We'll get there.
I was gonna say that typical game show thing. Last round is worth 1,000,000 points.
Yeah, we could. We'll never know. We never know. This is triple the wins actually, and we have to guess the score, which you almost came close. That would have been 3 points. Let's be honest. That's a 3-point shot if you get the score 100% correct. So we're close. All right, guys. With that said, that's our picks for Week 16: Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. 16-13 me. Nick's got them losing 24-20.